class, the first thing that you need to do is you need to join A plus students.com. Okay. Once you have joined the website, you need to select math as your subject. Okay. Then you need to select your grade. Your grade is grade 7. Today's lesson is for grade 7. Okay. The topic for today is geometric measurements. Geometric measurements. Okay. And the chapter number is, let me write down the chapter. And the chapter number is 22. Chapter number is 22. And the lesson for today is, the lesson number is 7. And the name of the lesson is volume. We'll find the volume of three-dimensional shapes. Okay. So let's go to the topic. Let's go to chapter number 22 and lesson number 7. Okay. The topic says volume. Okay. Before doing this question, let's see what is the difference between a cube and a cuboid. Okay. They both are made of four-sided shapes, right? Let's see what a cube is and what a cuboid is. A cube is a shape in which all sides are of equal length. Okay. So if we say this was a three-dimensional shape, we can say the length of the shape, right? The length should be equal to the width. This is the width over here, right? Should be equal to the height of the shape. So this was the length, this is the width, and this is the height. In cube, length would be equal to the width, would be equal to the height. So that means it's a square box. But if it's a rectangular box, it's called a cuboid. Let's look at an example. If we have a rectangular box, okay, let's take another box over here. And when we try to make it a three-dimensional shape, this would look something like this. So we can say that the front face of the shape, let's mark the domain dimensions over here. If this is the length, right? If this was the length, okay, we pick up another color. This was the width, okay. And let's select another color for the height. And if this was the height, we can say this height, or we can say this, we can say at the back, or this also. They all are, the verticals are the height. In a cuboid, the length will not be equal to the width, will not be equal to the height. All three dimensions would not be the same. 2 can be same in a cuboid, but 3 cannot be same in a cuboid. Okay, but in a cube, all will be same. So let's start off with the first question. They're asking us, what is the volume of this shape? Okay, and we will also identify if it's a cube or it's a cuboid. That's something else, something additional we'll try to do with the question. Okay, so with question number 1, they ask us what is the volume, and can I write over here the statement of the cube, because we can see that all the dimensions are of equal length. A cube has the same dimensions, right? Length, width, and height. Okay. The formula for the volume is the formula for finding volume of any these cube or cuboid is length multiplied by width multiplied by the height. Or we can also say the first side multiplied by the second side times the third side, right? So when we multiply the sides, three sides together, we'll get the volume. Okay, let's continue. Let's try to find. So what is the length given to us? We can say 6 inches was the length, 6 inches was the width, and 6 was the height, right? We know that 6 multiplied by 6 is 36, right? So what we can say is 36 multiplied by 6 and 36 multiplied by 6 is 216, right? So what we need to remember here is whenever we are giving our answer, right, we have to give a unit. Since the unit over here was inches, right, we write inch, right? And how many sides were there? There were 3 sides. We write the power 3. Agreed? So we need to say the volume of is 216 inches cubed. Okay, the power 3 is known as cube. Okay, let's try the next question. Yes, it is 30. 36 multiplied by 6 because we are multiplying all 3 sides together. 6 multiplied by 6 was 36 because volume is always 3-dimensional. See, if you are sitting in a room, how many sides does your room, how many surfaces are there in your room? Usually a room is a rectangular room or a square room, right? So there are 4 walls, but there is a roof and there's a floor, right? So that means if room is considered as a box, it will have 6 surfaces. You have the length, width, and the height, right? So in case of finding the volume, we multiply all the 3 dimensions together. We multiply the 3 sides together, not 2 sides, okay? When we multiply 2 sides, that is area. When we multiply 3 sides, that would be the volume. The difference between area and volume is if you have 4 walls in the room, right? So each wall will have an area, right? But the amount of material that can come in the room is the volume, right? If you have a football, right? Let's take an example of a football. The amount of material required to construct a football, right? The outer part of the football is the area of the football, right? The amount of air that the football can hold is the volume of the football, right? Similarly, if we have a glass, drink water glass, so or a cup, the amount of material required to make the cup is the area, but how much liquid it can hold, that would be the volume. So volume is always 3-dimensional, okay? So we multiply all the dimensions together. So we look at the next question. Okay, and we will also identify whether it's a cube or a cuboid. A cube will have all the sides equal, right? Okay, for question number 2, it says, this is question number 2. This is that is 8 meter, 8 meter, and 8 meter. All the sides are same. So this is a cube. We already saw that when all the 3 sides are same, it's a cube. When the dimensions are same, when the lengths are different, the height or the base or the width is different, that would be a cuboid. So we are still looking at a cube. We need to find the volume of this cube. We know that we can write side multiplied by side multiplied by side. That means 8 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 8. Since it's a cube, then all the 3 sides should have the same length. We know that 8 multiplied by 8 is 64. And what is 64 multiplied by 8? That is 512 meter. We need to remember one thing more. The unit of volume is always, we write the same unit, but we need to give a power 3, right? We say the volume is 512 meter cubed. Okay, we can say the volume is 512 meter cubed. It has to be power 3 because we are considering 3 sides. We are multiplying 3 sides over, side 1, side 2, and side 3. So that's why there is a power 3 over here. Okay, do we agree on this? Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next question. It still has, I think, a similar shape. Please identify. If we have this shape, I'm just going to copy this. Okay. In the next question, if we need to identify whether it's a cube or a cuboid, can we say that in question number 3, can we say all the dimensions are same? All the dimension means all the lengths of all the sides is same, right? That means it is again a cube. So we can say, like, we have ice cubes in the fridge, right? And they looks like a box, square, right? So that's why they are called cubes, because their shape is in form of a cube. Okay, all the dimensions are usually same. Okay, if we need to find the volume, we can say we multiply all the sides together. That would be 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4. We know that 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. Multiply by this 4. 16 multiplied by 4 is 64. What was the unit over here? Centimeter. And since we are using 3 sides for multiplication, we write cube over here. So the statement we can say is the volume of the cube is 64 centimeter cubed. Okay. Power 3 is also known as a cube. The next question we have is in yards. And the question says, okay, let's bring question number 4. Okay. In this case, the question number 4 says, find the volume of the same dimensions, 7 yards, 7 yards, and 7 yards. That means if all the 3 dimensions are same, it is a cube. Okay. So we need to find the volume of the cube. Whenever we need to find the volume, we multiply the 3 dimensions together, the width, length, and the height. That means 7 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7. 7 multiplied by 7 is 49. Multiplied by 7. So 49 multiplied by 7, we can use a calculator over here, is 343. What is the unit for this? The unit was yards. We write yards. And since we were doing 3 dimensions, we need to remember that volume has a cube on it. So the answer for this volume is, the volume of this cube is 343 yards cubed. Okay, power 3 has to be there as a unit of volume. Whenever we are trying to find volume, we write power 3 over there. Yes, previous was 64. Thank you. Very good. Let's try the next question. Okay, let's try to identify which shape is this. Is the next shape in the question is a cube or a cuboid? Let's identify this. Okay. So question number 5 says, find the volume of, is this cube or cuboid? Are all the dimensions same? This is 4, this is 4. Yes, 2 are same, but The third one is different, right? And we know that it is only cube when all the dimensions are same. Agreed? But even if one dimension is not same, then it becomes a cuboid. Okay? A rectangular box. A cuboid means it's a rectangular box. But we still find the volume the same way. The formula for the volume is multiply the three sides together. 4 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 4. What is 4 multiplied by 8? That would be 32 multiplied by 4, right? And the answer comes out to be 128. The unit that was used over here was inches. So we write inches. Since there were three sides that were multiplied, we write power 3. So we can say that the volume is 128 inches cubed. Okay, so it does not make any difference which order we multiply them, right? Yes, that's great. So it does not make any difference if it was 4 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 4, or you multiply 8 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4, or 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 8. So first number multiplied by the third number multiplied by the second number, the order does not change because they are being multiplied together. Yes, thank you for writing 3 over there. Inches cube. Thank you. Very good. So we did question number 5. Let's try another question. Question number 6. Let's see what they're asking us in the next question. Okay. I'll just copy the question so that, okay. Can you tell me if it's this shape is a cube or a cuboid? Okay. Please help me out with this. If this is a cube or a cuboid, just a simple answer. We had a definition of a cube that all sides have to be of same size. But in this question, we can see that all the sides are not of the same size, right? Since this is 7 meters, this is 7 meters, but this is 1 meter. That means this is a cuboid, right? So in order to find the volume of the cuboid, what we need to do is, we say volume, the formula for the volume is, we multiply all the sides together. We can say 7 is multiplied by 7 is multiplied by 1. The 3 dimensions, those were given to us. That would be 7 multiplied by 7 is 49 multiplied by 1. 49 times 1 is 49. The unit was meter, and since 3 sides were multiplied, we write power 3. We have to write power 3. The volume has to be. Yes, correct. So we can say the volume of the cuboid is 49 meters cubed. Okay. Thank you. Moving on ahead with the next question. Let's see if this is a cube or a cuboid. Let's identify and let's simplify. For the next question, it says, find the volume of the shape. This is question number 7 for us. We can see one dimension was 4, this was 3, and this was 2. That means the dimensions are different. So if the dimensions are different, we can still say it's a volume of the cuboid. Okay? Cuboid or cube, vice versa, the words would be used. Okay? So we can say if we need to find the volume, we multiply the 3 sides together. 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3. 4 multiplied by 2 was 8. Multiplied by 3 is 8. Yes. 8 multiplied by 3 is 24. The unit was centimeter. Centimeter cubed. So we can give the statement that the volume of the shape is 24 and the unit comes with a cube because we are trying to find the volume. Very good. Okay. The next question we have is another shape, a very similar shape, but with different dimensions. So let's go to the next shape. Okay. So in question number 8, they're asking us to find the volume of the shape. So can we say volume, this was 8, this is 7, and this is 9. So we can say the volume is basically we multiply the three sides together. 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 9. We can change the order of multiplication. It will not make any difference. Okay. 8 multiplied by 7 is 56. Multiplied by 9. I underlined 8 multiplied by 7 so that we know the answer is 56, right? When 56 is multiplied by 9, the answer for the volume comes out to be 504. But the unit given was millimeter. Mm is millimeter and power 3 because we are doing the volume. Yes. Thank you. So we can write the statement. The volume is 504 millimeter cubed. Agreed? Let's look at the next question we have. Okay, the next question is still a cuboid. And let's copy this. Okay, we have the next question that would be question number 9. In question number 9, it states that we need to find the volume of the shape. Okay, so we have yards as our unit and the lengths are 3 different lengths. This was 3 yards, this is 2 yards, and this is 9 yards, right? So we have 3 different dimensions and we need to find the volume. So can we say that volume of a 3-dimensional box is, we multiply the 3 sides together. That means 3 multiplied by 2 was 6, multiplied by 9. And we know that 6 multiplied by 9 is 54. So we can say the volume of this shape comes out to be 54. The unit was yards. Since 3 lengths were multiplied and we are finding the volume, we write the power 3. The statement we need to write is the volume is 54 yards cubed. Okay? Agreed? Yes. Thank you for the answer. Okay, let's try the next question. Question number 10. And let's see what we can do with this shape. Okay, it says, what is the volume? I'll just copy the question on the screen. Okay, very similar shape, just the dimensions are different. Okay. Question number 10 says, what is the volume? We say this was 3 inches, this is 2 inches, and this is 7 inches. 3 dimensions are different. In order to find the volume, what we do is we multiply the 3 lengths together. That is 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 7. 3 multiplied by 2 was 6 multiplied by 7. And 6 times 7 is 42. What was the unit? Inches. Since we are multiplying 3 sides together, we write power 3. That is inches cubed. That was the answer for the volume. So we can write the statement, the volume is 42 inches cubed. Agreed? Yes, let's move on. Yes, that's the correct answer. Yes, thank you. The next question we have is, we have a slant box, like it's more in width. They just change the dimensions of the box, okay? So we can say that if we have the next question, and the next question can be written like this. Question number 11, right? So if we need to find the volume in this case, can we say the unit was meters and the dimensions are different? So can we say volume of a box is always the product of the three sides? 10 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2. 10 multiplied by 3 is 30 times 2. We know the multiplication, how it's done. If there is a 0, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, and we put down the 0 as it is. What was the unit? Meter. But since we are finding the volume, we have to put a cube over here, because volume is the product of three sides. And we can say the volume of this box is 60 meters cubed. Agreed? Yes. Let's do the next one. Yes, thank you so much for the answer. Okay, let's do the next question. And the next question says, we have another box and we need to find the volume for this box. Okay, if we still have the same question with a difference in dimensions only, this is question number 12. We need to find the volume. The first thing we need to do is we need to look at the unit, that is centimeters. And the dimensions were 7, 9, and 7. So all we need to do is we need to multiply the three sides together, length of the three sides. The word dimension means the length. Okay, we can say 9 multiplied or 7 multiplied by 9 is 63 times 7. 63 multiplied by 7 is the volume that we need to find. That is 441. What was the unit? That was centimeter cubed. So the answer is the volume of the box is 441 centimeter cubed. Okay, agree? Do we agree on this? Thank you. Okay, let's try a question, one or two more questions, then we'll go to the test, and then we'll try the questions from the test, and the remaining you would do for the homework so that you can do self-practice. So the next question is question number 13. I'll just copy the question for you so that it's on your screen, so we don't have to draw it again. Okay. What is the volume of the cube or the cuboid, right? Cuboid. The unit is centimeters and the length is 6, 2, and 4. Okay. So if we need to find the volume, what we need to do is we need to look at the three dimensions or the three lengths. 6 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 4, and after multiplication we also need to look at the unit. The unit is in what is the measurement unit to calculate the length. Over here it's centimeters. So can we say the volume comes out to be 12 multiplied by 4 is 48. We copy the unit, that is centimeter. We are multiplying how many sides? One side, two side, and three sides, right? So we write a cubed over here. The power is 3. So we can say the volume is 48 centimeter cubed. Agreed?
Moving on to the next. Yes, thank you so much for the answer. The next question we have is another box. Let's look at this box. Okay, I'll just copy this and it's on your screen now. The next question on the website is this. Let's say this is question number 14. And once we have to find the volume, the unit is inches, the lengths are 4, 2, and 7. So we can say the volume is always equals to the product of the three sides. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, multiplied by 7. And 8 multiplied by 7 is 56 centimeter. Oh, sorry, inches. My bad. The unit here is inches and we write power 3. That means this is the volume. And we can write the statement as the volume of the box is 56 inches cubed. One more question from here. Then we'll go to the test. And we'll practice together. So the next question is question number 15. And question number 15 states that find the volume of the shape. So we can say that the unit is millimeters. We can say volume of a box is calculated by multiplying the dimensions together. 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 8. There are 3 dimensions. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. Multiplied by this 8. 8 times 8 is 64. We copy the unit, that is millimeters, power 3. Why do we write power 3? Because we are multiplying 3 sides. That means we write power 3 over here. And the answer for the statement is the volume of the box is 64 millimeter cubed. Okay. If we are done with this, let's try a few questions from the test so that we will have our options and we'll see how we can relate to the options that are given to us. Okay. Let's go to the test. Let's start the test. Just a minute, please. Okay. I'll just copy the complete question so that it's on our screen. Then we'll try to see which is the correct answer. There are total 18 questions. We'll do a few from here. Okay, we'll try to do the maximum we can, and the remaining would be done by you. Okay. If these are the 2 options that are available to us, let's label these options, option A and option B. And the unit is centimeter, centimeter, centimeter. This is question number 1 from the test. So we can say the volume of the shape must be equal to the product of the 3 sides. 4 multiplied by 2 was 8 multiplied by 3. 8 multiplied by 3 is 24. The unit is centimeter cubed. So do we have 24 centimeter cubed? Yes, option B is the correct answer. Okay, thank you. Same answer. Yes. Yes, option B. Thank you for answering. Let's look at the next question. This time I'll wait for you to give me the answer first, okay? So if we have these 2 options, I'll just put question number 2 over here. Okay, these are the 2 options we have. I'll just bring it down so that it's right there. Okay, just a minute, please. This is for this, and this is option A and option B. This was option A. Sorry, I'm just writing it. I'll make a circle over here so that we have this circle. This is option A, this is option B, and we need to find the volume
of question number 2. What is the volume? The unit is millimeters. The volume should be equal to 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 9. So what is 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 9? Can anyone give me the options? Option A or option B? Yes, 504. See, in an MCQ question, multiple choice question, the answer is 504 millimeter cube. So we need to look at these two options over here, option A or option B. We need to look at these values and we have to click on this correct option. Okay. Yes, option A is the correct option. Okay. So let's see what is the volume of the next question. Okay, the question says, oh, sorry, I'm doing the same question. Let's go to the next. The next question says, what is the volume? Okay, I'll just copy this question over here. Oh, sorry, I did not copy the complete. I did not copy the options. I'll just write down the options. Meanwhile, you find me the answer for question number 3. I'll just copy down the options we have. Okay. Okay. These are the two possible options we have for this question. Question number 3. We'll write down option A, option B. If we need to find the volume, the unit is millimeters. So we can say the volume would be equal to the product of the sides. 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 8 is 64. Very good. And we remember we need to write the unit. So option A or option B? Option A. Thank you. We always mark the correct option. Okay. We have to mark the correct option. Let's look at another question. The next question says, what is the volume of the shape if the shape is given as this? I'll just copy this. Okay. If I'd say this is question number 4, and the two options given are 25 and 27. This is option A, this is option B. So what should be the answer? I will wait for you to answer this. We look at the unit. Yes, centimeter cube, centimeter cube. This centimeter cube is equal, cubic centimeter and centimeter cube are the same thing. This is written in words, this is written in abbreviations. Three multiplied by 3 is 9. 9 multiplied by 3 is, what is 9 multiplied by 3? Yes, no. Option B, yes. That is 27. The unit is centimeters cubed. That means option B is the correct answer. Thank you. Let's try another question. Let's see. Okay, if you would answer incorrectly, right? If you, when you're solving the question and you answer incorrectly, so the website will show you the correct working. Okay, don't worry about it if you answered incorrectly. So the hint will be given, an explanation will be there. Okay. In this case, the question says, what is the volume for, let's suppose, question number 5. So we know that volume would always be equals to, we look at the unit inches. 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 7. We are multiplying the three sides together. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8 multiplied by 7. And 8 multiplied by 7 is 7 times 7 is 49. And 8 times 7 is, what is 8 times 7? That is 50. Can I have a look at the answer? Yes. 56. Yes, very good. That is 56 inches cube. Thank you for giving the complete answer. That means this is option B, right? Okay. I'll just write A and B over here for our simplification. That means option B is the correct answer. Okay. Let's try the next question. I would expect you people to finish the test, right? As many questions as we can do in the class, we will do those. But the remaining questions you have to complete. Because if you don't practice, then you will not understand. Question number 6, option A, option B. We know that volume is the product of the 3 sides. The unit is centimeter. What is 12 multiplied by 4? Is it 48 or 47? Yeah, we can. Our class will end when it ends. It's a 45-minute lesson, right? 12 multiplied by 4 is 48. Thank you. That means option A is the correct option A. Option B is 47, right? So we do option A, that is 48. So we click on the correct option 48, right? The next one we have is, what is the volume of this shape? This box. Okay. They're asking us what is the volume of this box. We can still say that this is question number 7. This was option A. This was option B. Option B is 64. Option A is 53. We know that in order to find the volume of any shape, we multiply the 3 sides together. The volume should come out to be 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4 should be equal to 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. And 16 multiplied by 4 is 64. The unit was centimeter. And we write a cube. That means option B is the correct answer, right? So let's click on the correct answer. Okay. So the next one is, what is the volume of this box? Okay, let's highlight question number 8. This is option A. This is option B. Option A and option B. Okay, we need to pick either of these options as an answer. So let's see what can be the answer. If we need to find the volume, so the unit is meter, so we can write volume must be equal to the product of the 3 sides. Agreed? That means 10, the first side, is multiplied by the second side is multiplied by the third side. So what is the answer for 10 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2? We can say 10 multiplied by 3 is 30 multiplied by 2. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6 and 0 comes as it is. And we need to remember that the unit is meter. Since 3 numbers were multiplied, we write cubed. So option A or option B? Option B, 60 meter cubed. right? Option B is your correct answer. So you give the correct answer. You click on the screen, so you'll have the correct answer, right? Okay. So let's select the correct option. Okay, good. Okay, do one thing. We are done with 8 questions and you are left with 10 more questions. Please complete the remaining questions so that you may have more practice. Okay, take care. Best of luck. Bye. Thank you.